Mini episode 1656 of the FDH Lounge is brought to you by Sportsology, delivering unconventional columns and webcasts about sports, TV, music, movies, and more. Follow them on the web at sportsology.com.
The FDH Lounge. You'll want to schedule your life around it.
A long time ago, on a gloomy, wet Cleveland spring night, two men stand alone amidst the late-night drizzle. Their voices echo across the vacant station parking lot as they debate the merits of the great American radio show that have been missing for far too long. On that night, an idea was born. That idea became the FDH Lounge. Welcome to the FDH Lounge.
Hello and welcome to FDH Lounge Mini Episode 1656, the weekly FDH Football Preview Show. I'm FDH Managing Partner Rick Morris here with our fantasy and non-fantasy preview for Week 2 of the 2023 NFL season, as well as a look at Week 3 of the college football season. We start with our picks right now for the college football playoff. 1 Georgia, 2 Michigan, 3 Texas, 4 Florida State. The next 4 in are 5 USC, 6 Ohio State, 7 Penn State, 8 Washington. For last week's college picks, we were 4-1, bringing us to 8-2 on the season. Here's what we've got this week. Ohio plus 2.5 over Iowa State, Tennessee minus 5.5 over Florida, Colorado minus 23.5 over Colorado State, North Carolina minus 7 over Minnesota, and Ohio State minus 29.5 over Western Kentucky. In the NFL, we're going for our 4th season since 2016 of being profitable, i.e. above 52.4%, picking every game of the season. We didn't start on pace for that, 6-10 overall, 1-2 on the Big Three, and 0-1 on the lock. Here's our picks for this week. Philadelphia minus 6 over Minnesota, Las Vegas plus 8.5 over Buffalo, Seattle plus 4.5 over Detroit, Chicago plus 2.5 over Tampa Bay, LA Chargers minus 2.5 over Tennessee, Houston minus 1 over Indianapolis, Cincinnati minus 3.5 over Baltimore, LA Rams plus 7.5 over San Francisco, the New York Giants minus 4.5 over Arizona, Dallas minus 8.5 over the New York Jets, Denver minus 3.5 over Washington, Miami minus 3 over New England, and New Orleans minus 3 over Carolina. For our Big Three, it's Kansas City minus 3.5 over Jacksonville, and Cleveland minus 2.5 over Pittsburgh, and in the 1,000-star gold-plated lock of the millennium for NFL Week 2, it's Green Bay minus 1.5 over Atlanta. Here's the top 10 in our power rankings for this week. 1 Philly, 2 San Fran, 3 Dallas, 4 Miami, 5 KC, 6 Cincinnati, 7 Buffalo, 8 Cleveland, 9 Detroit, 10 Baltimore. Here's our bottom 5. 28 Chicago, 29 Indy, 30 New York Giants, 31 Carolina, 32 Arizona. Now for our fantasy football segment. Remember, we strongly discourage fantasy over managing. You don't pull your top guys unless they're hurt or on a bye, period. Don't let the matchups or everything geeks tell you anything different. Here's our list of guys that you go with as long as you're confident that they'll be playing. Keep in mind that some won't be playing this week. QB, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Justin Fields, Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Trevor Lawrence, Patrick Mahomes, and Tua. Running back, Saquon Barkley, Nick Chubb, Austin Eckler, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, Christian McCaffrey, Bijan Robinson, and Jonathan Taylor. Wide receiver, Devontae Adams, A.J. Brown, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jamar Chase, Stephon Diggs, Tyreek Hill, Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp, CeeDee Lamb, Devontae Smith, and Jalen Waddle. Tight end, Mark Andrews, T.J. Hawkinson, Travis Kelce, and George Kittle. Remember, our Thursday night game picks and fantasy recommendations are up every week on our Twitter page at the FDH Lounge. Now here's our non-gimme picks for the week. We like 8 QBs: Derek Carr, Jared Goff, Jordan Love, Dak Prescott, Brock Purdy, Geno Smith, Deshaun Watson, and Russell Wilson. We like 20 running backs: Tyler Algier, Dalvin Cook, James Cook, Jamar Gibbs, Gus Edwards, Travis Etienne, Breece Hall, Najee Harris, Joe Mixon, David Montgomery, Raheem Mostert, Dameon Pierce, Isaiah Pacheco, Tony Pollard, Brian Robinson Jr., Miles Sanders, Ramondre Stevenson, Kenneth Walker III, Rachaad White, and Javonte Williams. We like 21 wide receivers: Brandon Ayuk, Keenan Allen, Brandon Cooks, Amari Cooper, Mike Evans, Zay Flowers, Chris Godwin, T. Higgins, Christian Kirk, Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, DJ Moore, Elijah Moore, Chris Olave, George Pickens, Michael Pittman, Calvin Ridley, Deebo Samuel, Courtland Sutton, Mike Williams, and Garrett Wilson. And we like 7 tight ends: Evan Engram, Dallas Goedert, Tyler Higbee, Sam Laporta, David Njoku, Kyle Pitts, and Darren Waller. Thank you for joining us for this week's FDH Football Preview Show.